And welcome to the January meeting of Solidarity Lowell. I am Joseph Boyle. I am your moderator tonight on Sunday, January 25th, at our very special meeting featuring Representative Vanna Howard, our candidate for State Senate. So
Cool.
welcome. This just a notice, this meeting is being recorded. It will be put on YouTube. By staying in the meeting, you consent to both. Our timekeeper tonight is Srevan. Please be mindful of time limits. To speak, please use the raise hand function in the Zoom or type an asterisk into the chat and wait to be called on. Our stacker, Ryan Hammond, will be keeping an eye on both and letting me know who needs to speak next and who is in line. Captions are available for those who need or want them. Please follow the step up and step back norms. We want to hear from everybody. So if you haven't been speaking or participating, please step up and let us know your thoughts. Similarly, if you have been participating quite a bit, make sure you step back and give everybody else a chance. Assume positive intentions. If your words do cause hurt, ouch, be accountable. Say oops. And please speak slowly so we can all understand, especially in these remote meetings. All right, so at 5:30 our agenda tonight at 5:30 p.m. the land acknowledgement and intros. 5:40 our Solidarity Lowell news and committee updates. At 5:50 updates from allied organizations. If you're here to promote another group or event, this is where we invite you to do so. And then at or around 6 o'clock, it will be our featured speaker, Vanna Howard, the state representative in the 17th Middlesex District and candidate for Massachusetts State Senate. And then around 6:55, we will wrap up. So to begin with our land acknowledgement here in Lowell, in and about Lowell, where most of us are, is the land of the following local indigenous nations: the Wabanaki, the Donlan Confederacy, the Pentucket, the Pawtucket, specifically the members of the Pentucket Confederation, the Agawam, the Pennacook, and the Wamasett. The information is from nativeland.ca. Our full statement, land acknowledgement statement, can be found at this link.
Are you going to read the full statement, Joe?
Sure. We can get that up. Just one moment. Marissa? Oh, can we get that up?
Do you need me to pull it up, Joe?
Yes, I do, Marissa. So we must acknowledge that the land in Lowell is that of the Pennacook. However, acknowledging the Pennacook as sovereign of this land is complex. After rampant colonization carried out through genocide, biological warfare, slavery, and other inhumane methods, the Pennacook were no longer present in Lowell at the beginning of the 18th century when the local European settlement began. This in no way means that there is no longer any Native American presence in Lowell. Local indigenous people will refer to themselves as Pawtucket, Abenaki, Wamasett, or even Pennacook, indicating the long and intricate history of this place. The current Native American population here is testament to the resilience of the indigenous people, as well as their venerated connection to the land. Only when we acknowledge this land and its history properly are we able to understand how to recover from an unjust past. That's why we begin with this statement. Please educate yourself further on the indigenous presence and contributions to Lowell, or wherever you consider your home. We are living on land that was stolen, and by educating ourselves and connecting with our local indigenous groups and organizations, we together can work on creating a more equitable community that works for us all. So thank you very much for that. So who are we? What is Solidarity Lowell? Solidarity Lowell is a volunteer group of Greater Lowell community members working together for social justice by defending the rights, dignity, and equality of all against hate and discrimination. We're a chapter of Progressive Mass and a Merrimack Valley Project associate. The Solidarity Lowell Coordinating Committee is your elected team, running the meetings, organizing events, disseminating relevant news, and sharing calls to action. Solidarity Lowell Coordinating Committee elections are held every April. If you're interested in joining the SLCC, email us at our main contact at solidaritylowell.com. So, to begin tonight, introduce yourself. You're with your name, your pronouns, where you live, and if you were a wrestler, what would be your entrance theme song? So, I will begin. My name is Joseph Boyle. I live in the Lowell Highlands. My pronouns are he, him, and if I was a wrestler, I would come in to Burning Inside by Ministry because that would be awesome. So, next up, I'm just going to go up and down my screen. Amy.
Hi everyone, Amy Baranowski, she, her pronouns. I live in Lowell in the Acre, and I suspect Marissa may have the same one, but I am going to have to go The Warrior by Scandal for my theme song.
Very good. Bernadette, thanks for joining us. Bernadette, you are on mute, and we need to hear every word of this.
Still on mute.
Bernadette, I'm afraid you are still on mute.
Okay, I'm okay. Yeah. Bernadette, I also live in the Acre. Let's see, she, and oh, entrance song. Well, okay, I like the one we sang this morning, City of God. Let us build the city of God. There we go.
Caroline?
Hi everybody, Caroline Snow, she, her. I'm in Lowell and I have no idea for my song. There's no way I can figure that out.
Chris Romero, thank you for joining us.
No problem. It's my first meeting here. I'm Chris Romero. Many of you know me. I represent on behalf of the Coalition for Better Acre. He, him. I am also in the Acre too. I've been here since 2010. So if I were a wrestler, what would be my entrance theme song? Well, I am a big wrestling person. I do watch WWE on a daily basis. How about This Fire Burns by, what's that band? Kill Switch Engage.
A very good answer.
Nice choice.
Next up, Elkin.
Yeah, I'm Elkin Montoya from Board of Directors for CBA, and I live in the Attica area. And wrestler Hogan's, Mr. Hogan.
Very good. John Conley.
Hello. I'm in Lowell. My pronouns, I don't really use pronouns, but if you were to use it, it's he, him. And I represent all areas of positivity. So wherever you need me at, just toss me the ball and I'll go with it.
Excellent. And if you
go, huh?
And if you were a wrestler, what would be your entrance theme song?
Well, being that I do Bellator professionally, my theme song would be a combination of Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre.
All right, then. Linda, good, nice to see you. Linda?
You're on mute, Linda.
Often back. You are back on mute, Linda. You went off for a second. Linda, still on mute? You turned it off for a second and then you put it back on mute. All right. Let's just come back. Ozo, you're next up on my screen.
All right. Ozo, my pronouns, he, him, his. I live at the Lowell Transitional Living Center. It's really good to see my neighbor, John Conley, here. If I was a wrestler, much like Elkin, I was thinking, I am a real American. You know, Hulk Hogan came out to it. You know, I think that's really a misconstrued thing nowadays. And much like the gentleman a few meetings ago, we really need to reclaim that patriotism and show people like what a real American is and really make progress rather than whatever the hell is going on out there. So thank you, Elkin.
All right. And Ozo, what is your theme music?
Oh, I am a real American. You know, Hulk Hogan came out to it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
much
am a
like
real
Elkin.
American. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, Paul Gadet.
Yes, Paul Gadet from the Highlands section. He, him. I'm nonviolent. My theme would be Marshmallow World.
Very nice. Penny, thanks for joining us.
Nice to be here. I'm Penny, she, her. I'm out in Tyngsborough, but I'm here in Solidarity. And oh boy, my wrestling theme song would probably be some Riot Girl stuff from the 90s.
Very nice. Ryan Oates.
Hi all. Let's see. Yeah, Ryan Oates, he, him pronouns. I live in the Acre. And if I were a wrestler, it would probably be My Adidas by Run DMC.
Good one.
That would get me pumped. Yeah, thank you.
Srevan.
Hello everyone, Srevan see her. I live in the Bike Central and I have no idea with the song for like Coraline. Yeah, but I love to happy to listen the song.
All right. Thank you very much. Next up, Rep Howard.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Vanna Howard, she, her. I live in downtown. I don't know what my entrance theme song is. If I was a wrestler, I'm sorry. It's not one of those things I watch.
All right. Let's see. John Grossman.
Hi, everybody. John Grossman, he, him. I live in Pawtucketville. I would not be a wrestler, but if I had to be one, my theme song would be Fight the Power by, I think it was the OJs.
Very good. Had another Fight the Power in mind. Michelle Bouchard, you with us?
She said her mic is not working.
Oh, geez.
She had no
All right.
I'm able to access. Yeah.
Okay, Mitchell, help us out.
Hello, Mitch Paul and he, him. I live in the Acre. This is a thing a question I periodically thought about since I used to play baseball and there were walk-up songs. Although I never played in any venue that had one. But if I had to pick one right now, I'd go with The Grave Dancer by Gravedigger.
All right. Let's see. And Ryan Hammond, looks like you are last but not least.
You haven't got me either.
Oh, Marissa.
My name is Ryan Hammond. He, him are my pronouns. I live in the Acre. I'm on the Solidarity Lowell Coordinating Committee. And if I had to pick a song, it would be Ogre Battle by Queen.
And Marissa, was that you, the last one I skipped?
Yeah, that was me. So I'm Marissa, she, her, hers. I live in South Lowell. And my theme song would be the one that it has been since I did a radio show in college. And that is the Humpty Dance by Digital Underground.
All right. So nice to see you all here. Thank you for joining us tonight. What we like to do every week is, especially in these times, is to celebrate our victories. Celebrate our victories, celebrate the victories of good people. So, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, former Trump loyalist, said she is resigning from Congress. The federal appeals court has blocked the Texas gerrymander, which set this all off.
Wow.
900 acres bordering Yosemite has been returned to the tribe that was expelled from the region 170 years ago. 175 years ago. Bostonians wanted more bike lanes, and now they have them, and traffic is down. Report has come out, a comprehensive survey about the addition of biking in Boston, and it has been a roaring success with a meaningful, measurable reduction in traffic as resulting from it. The Democrats in Congress stood strong and we got anti-trans provisions removed from the Health and Human Services funding bill. And the rally that we co-hosted in front of City Hall with the DSA, Indivisible Lowell, and the Merrimack Valley Project in support of immigrant rights and civil rights on our streets had a great turnout. Does anyone else have any other victories from the last month that they'd like to share? Looking for hands or asterisks.
Ozo has his hand up.
Ozo. And then looks like Chris.
All right, guys. So I'll be making some updates in the other portion of the show, I guess, or whatever. But I just want to announce to everybody who may not know, but Rights Tenants Group had been looking for a fiscal sponsor or agent, and Dan Rivera at CBA and Haley Barrett. We've been in contact, and it looks like they'll serve as that for Rights Tenants Group. And, you know, they're in it to fight with us for the rights that we deserve. I mean, we've come a long way, but also we have a whole lot further to go. We're going to need a lot of help, and that's, you know, it's a beautiful partnership, and I'm happy that, you know, you guys helped me start the thing in the first place. And I've had so much support with Solidarity Lowell and Lowell Lama and Vanna Howard. Everybody, it's just been a wonderful ride. Not exactly easy, but thank you all so much for your help.
Wonderful announcement, Ozo. Great to hear it. Chris Romero, did you have I thought you had your hand up next.
Yes, I did. Sorry if the snowplows are in the background. We had a successful Friday night for the who wants to be our state rep over at the state senator. I am so sorry to Vanna Howard. More than 60 Lowell citizens came out Friday night just ahead of the major snowstorm to hear from candidates for the Massachusetts special senatorial election. Next step is to vote in the primary on February 3rd. Thank you to our candidates, State Rep Vanna Howard, who is running for the state senate, and Rodney Elliott, and everyone who participated. I know Ozo was there, and some of you were there too. Well, probably. We had a great time there. So on behalf of the Coalition for Better Acre, thank you all so much for coming out. And Ozo, we are proud to support you too.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Chris.
Could I
Ryan? Looks like Ryan.
Yeah. I just wanted to celebrate that on Tuesday, the Lowell City Council passed the motion to request information about ICE activity in the city, as well as just to reaffirm the LPD's policy with regard to ICE. I think with everything going on in Minnesota and just around the country, it'll be good. It'll be comforting, I think, for a lot of people to have transparency about what's happened in the city. And it's just, I think it shows the city that, or the residents that, our city councilors kind of understand how people are feeling and that they're on people's side, which I think goes a long way.
Yeah.
Paul has
Yeah, that's a good picture.
I just want to point out that 100 clergy people were arrested in Minneapolis airport supporting immigrants.
Wow. All right. So, if there's nothing else in that item, we urge everyone here to connect with other Lowell activists. Lowell Activists Unite is a new online community space for Greater Lowell. Discord is a free text, voice, and video application similar to Stack, and it's a way for activists to get to know what's going on and keep in touch without relying on the whims of social media algorithms that might or might not show your messages to each other in a timely manner. Channels for topics of increasing concern, and adding channels for each we're adding channels for each group and organization by request. So if you want to join Lowell Activists Unite, you can join as an individual or as the leader of an organization or group. So if you want to join, the link is provided here. Or again, email us at our main contact number, contact@solidaritylowell.com. Lowell Together is an organization of Solidarity Lowell and other groups and individuals organizing around local elections. The state Senate primary, the state Senate Democratic primary for the first Middlesex Senate seat will be on February 3rd, 2026. Lowell Together has endorsed Vanna Howard, the current state rep from the 17th Middlesex district, for that state Senate seat. You can join our phone banking for her this coming Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. On Zoom. And the link is provided for you there. It'll probably appear in the chat as well. Sign up for canvassing and additional phone banking shifts, as well as standouts on Election Day, that February 3rd. Check for the Solidarity newsletter to sign up. The general election is going to be held in March, but this being Lowell, it's really the primary election that is likely to choose decide the outcome, and we are really pushing people to get involved and take part in that February 3rd Democratic primary. Our next step. The next step for the organization, once this election, this special election to fill the state Senate seat is held, our next step will be to look to the fall, where there will be the ordinary calendar Democratic primaries for state representative. There will almost certainly be at least one of those seats that will be open as a result of this race. And we will have to pay attention to that as well. We are looking to identify state rep candidates and other races in which we should engage over the course of the rest of this year. There won't be any Lowell Together meeting this Tuesday, as we will be phone banking for Rep Howard. If you want to get involved with Lowell Together, please email us at the main contact at solidaritylowell.com email. Amy, did you want to speak about Mill City messaging?
Sure, yeah. So for anyone that's not aware, that is our monthly postcard writing event that we do with Indivisible Lowell. And it is always the second Thursday of the month. over at Lala Books on Market Street, 189 Market Street. It's a good time. We write postcards and talk, have a drink or two, non-alcoholic. Well, actually bring alcoholic if you want it. I don't think they. But anyway, yeah. So I don't think we have a topic set up for this one yet. We I'm gonna have to contact them. I know that this Thursday, February 12th, is also the LDCC meeting, so we may try and push it a little earlier, but it is usually 6 to 8. So I guess be on the lookout for this week's newsletter from Solidarity Lowell, and that will change the time if we're gonna have it a bit earlier. Oh, and while I'm talking, let me just say thank you to everybody that came out for our postcard writing night for Vanna Howard. It was very successful. We just sent off, I put a stack in the mail, and then I know Vanna later this afternoon actually worked on getting a bunch of them out mailed too. So, yeah, that was very successful. We managed to get out a little over 200 postcards for her. So, thank you.
Yes, before we get off of the Mill City messaging, I wanted to mention, in addition to the ordinary postcarding that we've been doing since the most recent city council election, making a special effort to which we owe great thanks to Marissa, printing up our own unique carved and stamped Solidarity Lowell postcards. They're beautiful. They're that much more attention grabbing. They're that much more effective. We coordinate with the campaigns to send them to the most effective people to send them to, and we provided the service for Rep. Howard's campaign at the as well, sending out unique hand stamped Solidarity Lowell postcards. And I just wanted everybody to give a big round of applause to Marissa for the hand carving the stamps that we've been using. So, Mill City messaging, been a great success. Next item, is Marissa is going to talk about the Unpacking Whiteness.
Yeah, so if you've been following us for at least a year, you might have heard this speech before, but I run the Unpacking Whiteness dialogue group in the spring every year. This allows folks to explore racial biases, white supremacy, white privilege, explicit and implicit bias, systemic racism, and microaggressions in supportive, structured dialogues. It's 5 sessions, 1 per week, and it's capped at 10 people, starting in March or around there. And then after attending the initial dialogue group, you're invited to join the ongoing group, which meets once a month and alternates between discussing a book or watching a film. And you can sign up at bit.ly/UW-sign-up or email me. It's a really great way to learn to be a better anti-racist, really. And it's open to anybody who identifies or presents as white, or anybody who's really interested. But yeah, primarily white folks, just because, it's sort of like therapy. You're kind of addressing things that are deep down, and sometimes it raises some things that maybe you wouldn't want a lot of people to talk about, but it's very comforting, and it's a good small group, and yeah, you'll get a lot out of it. So please sign up.
All right. Ozo, did you want to you started a few earlier that do you want to take this opportunity to talk about the rights tenant group?
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to present everybody just with a brief update. I did present this in the Lowell Activists Unite group. I would encourage everybody to join the group. It really connects all of us and brings us under one umbrella so that we can really just streamline the process of doing the important work that we do out here each and every day. As I pointed to previously, things have gotten better here at the Lowell Transitional Living Center. I mean, it's been 5 years though of just nagging, and you guys know, for the majority of you guys, you know what we've done. gone through the papers, having to go to city council, just basically asking to be treated as human beings. The cleaning has gotten considerably better. They hired like a temp agency. These people are fantastic, but there's no real guarantee that we'll hang on to them, similar to the security that they implemented a little while back, and we don't have security anymore. That is a problem. The case management and staff response has improved. They've ramped up a bit. They do their best, but they're, running on fumes. There's only a couple of case managers. Mailboxes have arrived. They're just sitting down in the lobby. I guess they're waiting for construction, but at least we do have some movement on that. Pest end, they have made a significant difference down here. I'm always going to be honest about what they have done and what they haven't done, but full ratification of the pests has not happened. But I understand that there are steps being taken, and they've done a really good job. No repair schedule has been provided, which I think would be very important in us understanding their roadmap to better outcomes, which is ultimately our goal. Aesthetic fixes such as, painting the stairs only puts lipstick on a pig. These stairs are ragged. There's pictures online, Ozo for Lowell, if you want to take a gander at those. It's a big problem. There's elderly people climbing up and down the stairs. That leads me to, no word on the elevators, central air, or the stairs repair, which I know, again, it will cost big money, but that's their job, is to take care of us, raise that money. And that's why Rights Tenants Group is being formed, at least in part. We will be raising money for these efforts if SMOC can't do it. And hopefully work with them. And if not, other things are being considered. As far as I don't know, again, most of you have probably seen this, but I bought a little thermometer, and it was 53.4 degrees in the bathroom on one early morning. I've complained about it. Obviously, the weather is how it is outside right now. They're telling me that they always kick me back a little snide remark or something. Well, when we checked it, we pointed it at the heater and it was 74 degrees. Well, that's not at the toilet, which is right next to the window, and the heat does not resonate throughout the bathroom. It was 53.4 degrees, and that's really all. I just need to leave it there. I don't know, the soap dispensers were being filled. They're not being filled anymore. There's all corrosion in those things too. So, we really need some help in that area. And if they do put it in there, it's like really terrible soap for your hands and stuff. So anything they get, it's really just cheap, feminine products, toilet paper, if they do ever put it in there, which we've been taking care of the fourth floor. It's all cheap stuff, which is, not good for your health, obviously. The latest thing they did was put Bob Barker brand tampons and pads in there, which, if you guys don't know, if you're ever in jail or in any institution, that's the brand of choice. It's just the cheapest, bottom-based thing you can get.
So also, to sum
yes.
up, what is it that would be most helpful for people to do?
Right now in our transition, help us in our transition to transition into transitional living, because there is no transitional living here. My own personal expenses, I do share the wealth when I can. Like I said, I fill up the bathrooms and things and do different cleaning and meeting with people and communicating and finding out people's needs. If you could, please make any donation whatsoever to Ozo77, that's Venmo. I'll be making it a little bit more official, obviously, as we go under CBA's fiscal sponsorship. But any donations would be greatly appreciated. And again, I can't stress enough to join Lowell Activists Unite. Any updates about Rights Tenants Group will be put on there. And I'm just ready to rock and get ready to go officially. But thank you very much for your time.
All right. Thank you, Ozo. Okay, Caroline, the Rise Coalition.
Yep. So, let me. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Try that again. So this is more generally immigration. So sort of if immigration and Rise were switched on the slide. So this is a general bucket now that I'm working on. So the first one is the RISE Coalition is still active and working in Lowell. It stands for Refugees, Immigrants, and Immigrant Support and Empowerment. Given the landscape now, we are in discernment of what do we do as a RISE Coalition, what do we need. It's a lot of direct service providers. So it's not on the ground, and we're sort of discerning if that still makes sense. Merrimack Valley Project is looking to start or investigate the process of coming up with an immigration working group in Lowell. That would need a leader. So that's the first thing that we need to figure out. If you're interested in what that would involve, you can chat with me. I'm the Lowell chapter lead. I also am the one of the housing team leads right now. But we are wanting to look towards that. Also, super exciting breaking news. In the next couple of weeks, Merrimack Valley Project will be launching a job description for lots of different things. There'll be 2 positions that I know of off the top of my head. So if you're interested in those, feel free to plug in. That's a way to do this work and be paid. And I'm a little biased, but the people you work with are really cool. So there's that. And then there's always vigils at the ICE office in Burlington. There are various days. They're going to happen no matter the weather. I will also say that, like Ozzo, there's the Discord, and I have been putting in just any events that are happening in that Discord. So there are any events that I'm aware of relating to immigration, I have been putting on that as well. So I think that's it for right now. If you have any questions about MVP, you can email me, kind of sort through what that would look like for you and if that's something that would make sense. And then RISE is Nancy Cohn. She works at Lowell Alliance, and she is the board contact for that. So I think that's my super quick update. And again, I will be starting to be more active in the Discord with regard to RISE. And all of those other things. So, thanks all.
Right. Thank you very much, Caroline.
Okay, I'm back. Super quick. If you see anybody that you don't know in your neighborhood, call the Luce hotline. The only alphabet soup that makes sense to not call this number for is the FBI. But I would still call anyways because it's good to know. We all know what's going on in the world. Luce, and this is a super, super, super important. You see something, you call, and you walk away. That is super duper 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 important, especially in today's environment. There are folks in the Luce network that are trained, willing, and able to walk into whatever. It is a very specific type of training for everyone's safety. If you want more information, you can go to the lucemass.org website. That's also the way that if you want to support families directly affected on the ground, call them, let them know, and then they will do it in a way that is confidential and empowering for the affected families.
All right. Thank you, Caroline. Upcoming events, Solidarity Lowell events. The Greater Lowell Fair Housing Regional Listening Session is on January 29th from 1 to 3 p.m. at UTEC, 35 Warren Street in Lowell. The Progressive Mass Annual Members Meeting is January 31st from 1 to 5 p.m. at LaSalle University, DeWitt Hall, 80 Maple Street, Newton, Mass. If you are a member of Solidarity Lowell, if you are paying dues to Progressive Mass, come to the meeting. There is a Get Out the Vote phone bank for Vanna Howard for State Senate coming up on Tuesday. The link for that is provided here. Talk about it more. The State Senate special election, the primary, like I said, is on February 3rd. You can support Rep. Howard on primary election day. You can canvass or you can phone bank for her. We're encouraging everybody do some, even if you do a bit. If a lot of people do a little, it adds up to a lot. MVP training and community organizing 101 is on February 8th from 3:30 to 5:30 in Lawrence. Indivisible Lowell meeting and Luce Observer training is on February 17th from 6 to 7:30 at LTC. And a second MVP training, House Meetings for Collective Power for the Merrimack Valley Project is hosting on February 19th from 6 to 8 p.m. Again at their headquarters in Lawrence. We are running a bit behind on everything, and we have Rep. Howard with us here. So I think we're going to shift around the schedule to give Representative Vanna Howard an opportunity to address everybody. State Rep. Vanna Howard, whom Lowell Together has endorsed for state senate, came to the United States at 11 years old. Surviving a communist genocide. She lost her dad, 3 siblings, and grandparents, and faced homelessness, hunger, and domestic violence here in America. But this community got her through it. She has dedicated her life to giving back. From working for Congresswoman Niki Tsongas, helping constituents in Lowell, Dracut, Pepperell, Tyngsborough, and Dunstable, to serving in the district attorney's office and volunteering with more than 50 nonprofits. As state representative, she has secured millions to combat the housing crisis, strengthen childcare, and make our community safer. Please welcome Representative Howard. Please, if you have questions, type them into the chat or use the raise hand function, and they will be answered following the presentation. Rep. Howard?
Well, thank you so much, Joe, for that introduction, and great to be with you all tonight. And thank you all. To Solidarity Lowell and the Lowell Together and the Merrimack Valley Project, but all made Lowell Together for your immense support, from your endorsement to helping with canvassing, to phone banking, to writing postcards. We all know this support will ensure voters know who would be the best candidate to represent us in the 1st Middlesex district to be our next state senator. And so thank you. As you know, my name is Vanna Howard. I'm currently a state rep for the 17 Middlesex district, serving my 3rd term, representing Lowell and a portion of Tewksbury. So the 17 Middlesex district includes downtown Lowell, the Belvedere, the Lowell Highlands, Back Central, South Lowell, and 1 precinct in Tewksbury. So with all your help, so grateful with all your help, and we just have many amazing volunteers since we started this journey in late November or mid-November. And many of you here have been out there door knocking, phone banking, doing visibility, writing postcards. Thank you so much. So this has been both a very long and very short campaign. As Joe mentioned and everyone mentioned, the special primary election is February 3rd. And with all your help, we have knocked on hundreds of doors. We made many calls asking for support, and we stood on many street corners doing visibility with supporters. And Joe mentioned a little bit, I think you know my history, escaping the Cambodian genocide, coming here at 11 years old. Many of my family members were killed in the killing fields of Cambodia, and raising myself up from homelessness, from food insecurity, from abuse, really with a drive to give back. And that's all I have been doing. That's all I've been dedicated to do my entire life. So from working for Congresswoman Niki Tsongas, to working for the Middlesex and Suffolk County DA's office, to working for Lowell Community Health Center, to volunteering for many, many nonprofit organizations, including many here in the city of Lowell. So this is my lived history, and this is what drew me to public service. And so I mentioned my background, my professional background, and my work when I was working for Congresswoman Niki Tsongas' office, representing all of the towns that's now in the First Middlesex District. And so not a stranger to all the 4 towns. I have been there. I have family still reside there. And so really, and especially with the Lowell Community Health Center, where I was on the board of directors and became a staff. But my children and I have been patients at the Lowell Community Health Center for over 2 decades. And it's right now, with less than 10 days to go with this election. I know with your help that we can I think we can win this election with all the dedicated, we're in the middle of winter. We have dedicated, committed volunteers that all coming together, that how important this seat is, because this is not, I said it from day one, this is not a me campaign, this is a we campaign. This is for all of us. This is for the public good. This is for to make sure that families and children have roof over their head, have food on the table. They have a safe place to live. Really, when it comes to issues of affordability, healthcare, housing, and lowering utility costs, you know where I stand as a public servant. And you have heard me say over and over that I am truly a public servant. I'm not a politician. I don't like that word, a politician. So I have pledged and will continue to listen and work hard for all of you, not just here in the First Middlesex, but for the entire Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And so, as I said, we have less than 10 days to go. The primary election is February 3rd. So we need all hands on deck. We have GOT event happening. We were supposed to have one scheduled this coming Monday. That's tomorrow. It now has been postponed to January 30th. It's going to be at Tavern in the Square. That's going to be scheduled from 6 to 8 p.m. Joe mentioned in the previous slide, please sign up. Please let people know this is very important, because I am as a public servant, I am bringing all of us with me to the State House. Doesn't matter your background, what you look like, all voices have to be at the table. When we all come together collectively, we get things done. We can make things work for the better, for the greater good for all of us. So with your help, we can do this. We can cross the finish line. And so I want to thank you all for making the time tonight to be together. I wish we were in person, but Mother Nature had we can't control Mother Nature, but I'm so grateful for your help, for your support, and making sure that this election will be in the hand of someone who has been looking out for your best interests for almost 30 years. So thank you so much for having me. Thank you again.
Joe, you're muted.
Thank you, Rep. Howard. For our first question, Aurora asks in the chat, got my vote. Is there early voting? Is there early voting for this primary?
No early in-person voting because of the short window, because it's a special election, but you have until January 27 if you want to vote by mail. January 27 by 5 o'clock, you have to request a mail-in ballot by January 27 at 5 p.m. if you want to vote by mail.
Okay. At this point, what would you recommend somebody who has their mail-in ballot do?
I would highly recommend call one of us if you somehow can't make it to drop it off. Don't put it in the mail. Do not put in the mail. It's not guaranteed that we'll make it to the election office by February 3rd. So reach out to me, reach out to many volunteers you see here. We have Marissa DuPont, we have Joe Boyle, we have Mitch Pollan, we have there's so many of us here on this call, and that we can come and pick up your ballot and drop it off for you in the drop-off box outside the city of Lowell, but do not put it in the mail, in the postal U.S. mail, because it's not guaranteed that it will arrive on time by February 3rd.
So, okay, so there is no in-person early voting, but there is a drop box available.
There is a drop box inside the Lowell Police. Previous attempt to put the drop box outside of City Hall on Merrimack Street, I believe it was vandalized. And so now the drop box is inside the Lowell Police at 50 Arcan Drive, which is next door to the to City Hall.
All right. So best thing to do if you have your early ballot is drop it early and give a call to Solidarity Lowell if you need help. If you need help with that.
Joe, there's there's 2 more questions in the chat, and then Ryan Oates has his hand up.
Okay, let's see. First question in the chat I saw from Chris Romero. So if elected, what will you do for the Latino community? You also have my support.
So I was honored to be a guest of a meet and greet hosted by many active Latino community members a couple of weeks ago. These are folks that I have known for many years, and we had a great turnout to hear from many of our Latino community members. And so the first Middlesex district, that's everyone, right? But I did mention how the Latino community and the Southeast Asian community came together for the to make the from the all-at-large representation on the city council to the district representation. And so when we come together, we have to be united, right? We have to be united. We have to have a voice, all our voices heard at the State House, at the local level, at the national level. Our school, a Lowell public school here, the highest student population is Latino students. And look at their representation. There's no representation. The second highest population of the students, the student body, is Southeast Asian. We still don't have representation. So we need to come together to make sure from the top down, we have representation that look like us. And so we want to make sure that we work together, collaborate to make sure that our voices are represented, because representation matter, and we know this. And so in order to make change and have our voices heard, it's always strength in number. We need to work together, and so that everyone, especially here in the city of Lowell, of 115,000, very diverse community. It's very diverse, but we don't have diverse representation to reflect, the two largest population right here in the city of Lowell. So.
Right. I'm not sure who is next.
Ryan,
was it Ryan?
Next.
What's that, Marissa?
Sweet.
I just said Ryan Oates is next. He's going to go.
Okay.
Sweet. Yeah, thank you. Well, first, thank you, Rep. Howard, for being here. One of my biggest areas of concern, both for me personally and just that I think is a really big problem in Massachusetts right now, is housing and the affordability crisis when it comes to housing, both in terms of just the affordability of market rate units and also the need for more, capital A affordable housing. And so I know that you've been very focused on that issue. I've been following some of the bills you've co-sponsored, but I'm wondering if you could, just for for clarity's sake, for transparency's sake, make a distinction between like your approach compared to Rep. Elliott's approach and experience so far. I know your colleagues, but I just would love to hear how you see your approaches as different when it comes to housing.
Yeah, when it comes to housing, I did mention this many times. What housing is affordable mean to me, because I lived it. I have that lived experience where I was unhoused. When I was a single mother, I was unhoused. And so fast forward now in 2026, 2025, as you know, the rising housing costs, right, with the inflation are severely impacting our residents. And so with over half of our renters and over a third of our homeowners spending more than 30% of their income on housing. And so when Governor put together the, when she proposed, which passed, the Homes Affordability Act, I was proud to not only support that, but testify in support of it with members of the Lowell Housing Authority. And luckily, thankful it was passed. And I was in that language, in that bill, there was also a language about accessory dwelling units. I stood in support in that. My opponent was not in favor of accessory dwelling units because it helped to produce additional housing for someone to age in place, stay in place, and to be able to have some, a family member or a relative or to a rental to help with the housing production, because governor's proposal in Massachusetts is to add 220,000 units. We're getting close. We're not getting there yet, but that's 220,000 units. We almost get at 200,000. And so because of my lived experience, this is near and dear to my heart. And because I always say, I believe in the housing first, that housing first, like Governor Baker proposed and it in 2020. And that's why, and then we have the MBTA community, right? And so Lowell, thank goodness, we're in compliance, and so many other towns in the city. So I am for MBTA communities, I'm for accessory dwelling units, and that's the difference between, I guess that's where, a little bit slightly different in that area. And so I will continue to make sure that we have continued to more housing produced, the market rate, the housing. I mean, I have worked closely with previously Executive Director Jim Weil at the Merrimack Valley Housing Partnership, and now Kathy Mercado, who I work closely with that. And continue to work with all the partners, with all the stakeholders, for all of us to come together, because without roof over your head, there is nothing anyone can think of doing anything about your healthcare, about anything else, until you have a safe place to sleep at nighttime. And I know this firsthand, because when you are going from couch to couch, when you are jumping from one place to the next, you're just trying to survive. And so housing is the most priority, the most important thing to have in someone's life. And so there is a high demand, right, for more and more diverse affordable housing, especially here in the city of Lowell. We are being priced out. So we need to start, and I talk about this though, we need to start private entities that scooped up all these properties, and they paid low taxes. So we need, just like the ultra rich, we need to tax them. We need to tax these private entities. And that's the only way that our smaller homeowners, property owners that own 3 or 4, they have no choice but to raise rent. They don't want to raise rent, but if their property taxes are going up, they have no other choice but to raise rent. And I met with many small homeowners. So we need to tax these private entities. They need to pay their fair share. And speaking of fair share, I wrote an op-ed and I was in support of the fair share amendment, the millionaire's tax. So thank goodness. So we need to do more. And yeah.
Thank you so much.
Ozo also has his hand up.
Thank you, Rep. Howard. At Who Wants to Be a State Senator, you briefly mentioned that you would like to see ICC used by Middlesex Community College. I, for one, I know I'm biased and all. I believe we should go all in on LTLC, the federal courthouse, and ICC to try to really tackle this problem head on. But could you explain a little bit why you believe they should, further partner with MCC rather than keep it as not as it is, but improve services and really go in on this homelessness problem once and for all? Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's a really good question, because here's the thing. Before the ICC was turned into the emergency assistance shelter, UMass Lowell and Middlesex Community College, I was part of that tour as well. When all the students, when all UMass Lowell students moved out, the ICC was temporary housing for UMass Lowell students while their housing permanent was under construction. And so that was always going to be temporary ICC when the state took over. And so it was never going to be permanent. So I moved here to Lowell in 91. That building went through different management, right? Different management in the hospitality business, right? And when UMass Lowell took over for temporary student housing, they were not in the business of, but they did manage to keep a number of rooms for guests. But in the summer, the place was open up to all the guests in the summer, for Lowell Folk Festival, for other events in the area. Yeah, I mean, it's a big place. Middlesex Community College is interested in it, into doing their hospitality and their culinary. They pretty much said it. It's a public record. They're interested. I think it's a great economic development. It's a big place. So, conversations should be started if ICC is a fit, to transition LTLC to that area, because right now it's a warming center, right? Right now it's acting as a warming center, but also a rapid tracker for short-term 30 days for unhoused folks and family members right there, right now in that building. And then on the other side of the building, it's acting up as a warming center, I believe, until Monday or Tuesday. It started Friday night. And so, yeah, that's a conversation between the city, between the state, between UMass Lowell. And I think if we all come together and everyone at the table and see, can it work, right? It is a big building. So, yeah, I mean, should be a conversation starter for that building. I know we have one of the largest shelter in Massachusetts, and Lowell is one of them, a Lowell Transitional Living Center. And so again, and that's would be up to SMOC, right? LTLC, the SMOC, they oversee that. And are they interested in moving the shelter to the former ICC? That is something that they need to be part of the discussion with the city, with the state, with UMass Lowell, and the Massachusetts School Building Authority. Mm-hmm.
Aurora also has her hands up.
I just wanted to point out the Housing First is no longer being implemented in at least this district, in District 7. I used to live at the Pathfinder program, but it's now Safe Haven. Housing First is no longer the priority, they're told, and that's coming from the Fed. So I don't understand, is it still in effect or is it not? Because they just kicked out a bunch of immigrants from the program because they're not registered, documented immigrants. So they're not practicing Housing First anymore. I have DMH. That's the only reason I'm still here. Otherwise, I would have also been kicked out into the street.
Are you at the Pathfinder in the Acre?
I am over on Rock Street. Yes, I am
Yeah.
currently in the
That Rock Street.
DMH. I am in DMH building though. DMH owns this unit, and I am a member of DMH. That's the only reason I'm still here.
Mm-hmm. And you have information that folks that
Oh yes, they
there
kicked out
that
Kenny. They kicked out the Cambodian guy, Kenny Kai. They kicked out that African guy, Saul. They kicked out a bunch of people.
and you
It's
know what for what reason?
because housing first is no longer a priority.
Okay. I have to look into that and see what happened. Why again, I wasn't there, so I don't know the reason behind why folks no longer
I had to sit and watch an African American refugee, like, that's been in the country for like at least a decade. They kicked her out of this building, the apartment building, instead of the rooming house next door. And she sat out front of our building for 3 days before she finally left because she didn't know what to do.
right. So as you know, CTI, Community Teamwork Inc., which I work closely with as well. So for someone who's unhoused, if the shelter is full, especially now in the winter protocol, if the shelter is full, there are beds available at nearby hotels that run by CTI staff.
I mean, I'm glad that that is happening, but I am talking to a transgender male who's a friend of mine in the trans community, as I am also transgender myself. But they just texted me they're in that program and hoping to get an extension on it, but not everybody's getting those. So I just want to make sure that, like, there is housing priorities that are going to be met, just like the other individuals spoke on earlier. It's definitely a huge thing for me as well.
Sure. Yeah, I can look into it. I do know folks that stay, including you, many folks that stay at the Pathfinder on Rock Street. Without knowing what happened, why, the folks that you mentioned no longer there, because of private information, unless they want to share with me, so reason why they no longer there.
I'm not accusing you or anybody of anything.
No.
It's just, or trying to give out their business, but like seeing the way they got like just tossed out so suddenly after Trump started taking power, signing executive orders. I mean, technically, my transgender clinic was ordered by the federal government to stop giving me my estrogen and other people their medicines because, so, I mean, there are things that are happening that I thought were protected, like the Shield 2.0 Act. And it's like I've lived homeless for 17 years of my life and grew up in extreme poverty since day one of my existence. And I feel like I'm going to die in poverty, and that's fine. But I certainly don't want to leave my daughter and future people in that same fate. Like, we got to really think of really good housing ideas to really balance out an equilibrium in the housing market.
Yeah.
And maybe less private entities getting involved in more public government equity type stuff.
I agree. Yeah, we haven't kept up with the with the housing production since the 1990s, and so that's where we are. So and with the governor's plan, with trying to move housing, affordability, making more housing units more available, but for faster instead of taking over a year. And now it looks like it's taking 30 days or less in order to build affordable housing. So it used to take more than a year. And so Governor Healy at her State of the Commonwealth stated that building affordable housing in Massachusetts now should not taking more than 30 days or more. So.
There's a question in the chat.
Yes. Is it John? John, did you want to ask a question? John Conley?
Yeah, I've typed in a couple of things. Like, there is a lot of things that goes on in this city that's really not approved and is being done behind closed doors. That's like, as far as the housing situation goes. I'm going to back Ozone on up on what he was saying about LTLC. Like, everything that goes on in this building is unfounded. and they give the littlest of reason of doubt not to do what they're supposed to be doing. But when you do speak up on it, they either pin you in a corner or they throw bullets at you to make you feel like you are the bad guy or the bad girl, which is very unfair, unhealthy, and is unorthodox in the world of politics and in the world of safety and human management. Far as you go with your candidacy, good luck, congratulations. If you need somebody to back you up and support, I'll be the first one to get in line to help you. I used to work at UMass, so if we can basically stop a lot of the UMass projects going up, I think we'll get a lot of affordable housing out here in the city, and it'll clean up a lot of the areas that that been tied down in the city. I've been out here 22 years, and I've seen 20 years of destruction. And I do a lot of advocating around the states and different states, and every time I go to advocate for something, it either, it gets approved or it gets put on the table or a ballot. So if you ever need the help, and this goes out to everybody, just call me.
Thank you, John.
Marissa?
So this is kind of a tangent, and it's not technically your district, so if you don't have an answer on this, no biggie. But obviously there's a rumor that UML is going to put a hotel in the park next to the Tsongas, which obviously is an important green space downtown that most of us here would really like to keep. I don't know if there's anybody that wouldn't want to keep it. And especially since there are like 4 parking lots right there that they could put the hotel on instead, because there's a giant garage right there. So it's not like they need the parking. It's a very strange choice. And I'm wondering, I don't know, I guess they said something about like they did a study and like putting it on the parking lot. Do you know anything about like, oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Did you get most of that?
I think so. So you were asking about a proposal about a hotel UMass Lowell is proposing next to the Tsongas Arena?
Yes.
Yes,
yes, if you know anything about that.
All I know is from what I read in the Lowell Sun. I haven't had a discussion yet with the Chancellor, Chancellor Julie Chen. I'm sure I will be, having a meeting with the Chancellor and her team. But that's what I heard. There's going to be a practice skating ring built, but also there's going to be a hotel there. I know many of the downtown Lowell residents, they have reached out to me over the years about preserving green space by the Riverwalk there. So these are the some of the questions I will be asking the Chancellor and her team as well about the proposal. Right now, all I saw was the what's written in the Lowell Sun, and so I don't have all the information yet. And once I do, well, make sure to share.
Awesome, thank you so much.
While we're on this topic, it's interesting because the shortage of green space in specifically the acre, and the way there was a great deal of building there, and it wasn't providing green space with the building, was a topic in the last city council election, and now this is one of the largest green spaces in the acre.
Yeah, I'm working with the Park and Conservation Trust to plant trees along Market Street, where that new development took place, right there on Market Street, right before Salem Street, especially along the sidewalk there. So I know they planted some trees, but some folks in downtown, they do, that's their way to you crossing. So they have requested for more trees for shade, for all kinds of other benefits for that area. there's not a lot of trees there. So I know the Lowell Parks and Conservation Trust been doing a great job making sure that, you know, the trees have been planted across across the city of Lowell.
Yeah. Yeah. As you may remember, one of our questions was about, in our most recent round of questions, was for candidates, was specifically about the lack of equity among resources in between different neighborhoods in Lowell. The Acre is certainly one that's on the short end of things.
Mm-hmm.
So does anybody else have a question for Rep. Howard? Well, thank you very much. This was fantastic. Thank you for joining us. Before we wrap up tonight, I wanted to jump back on our agenda to announcements from allied groups. Sorry. We had been running late and jumped over that. So were there any other announcements from any of our allied organizations that we have not gotten to? Any 350, any?
Mitch has his hand up.
Mitch?
Yeah, I just want to mention that the Lowell Democratic City Committee has a regular general meeting on February 12th at 7 p.m. at LTC. That's a Thursday night. I know we usually have them Mondays, but it's a busy time, so we had to move it to Thursday. That will be after papers get released for most Massachusetts state races. We're expecting to have some candidates for various offices speak. And then at the end of this month or at the end of February or the beginning of March will be a caucus to elect delegates to the state convention. But again, the next regular meeting is February 12th.
All right. Thank you very much, Mitch. John Grossman.
Yeah, hi everybody. An issue to keep an eye on is what the state legislature does about energy affordability. And the short version is that the right wing wants to make your electric bill cheaper by eliminating some charges for clean energy. But that is a very small, less than 10% contributor to the increase in electric bills. The large contributor to the increase is the amount of money that the utilities spend on building out their infrastructure, because that's how they make their profits. The more pipes they put in the ground, the more profits they make. And they're investing in gas pipes, which even though the state is committed to move off of gas. So we're fighting to, and I'm speaking on behalf of 350 Mass of Greater Lowell, which is a climate justice group. And we're fighting to tell the legislature, tell the utilities not to spend money on gas pipelines, which we're just going to have to get rid of. They should repair those that need to be repaired, but don't replace them. And don't cut what really helps us, which is programs like Mass Save. Mass Save could certainly be improved, but we can't cut back on efforts to have more energy efficiency if we want to keep our electric bills down and address the climate crisis. So I urge you to let your state representative know that, and if you follow 350 Mass, we'll let you know how things continue, how things go on that. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Was there anyone else? Any allied group announcements?
Chris Romero had his hand up.
Yep. It was actually my first Zoom meeting here on Solidarity Lowell. So I've never been part of these because I've been mostly busy with other stuff in the community, because, you know, I'm with the Coalition for Better Acre. And you guys are one of our partners. So we're very proud of having you guys as our partners, and hopefully we get to see you all at an event very, very soon. And also Pat's won.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Chris, I think it was you that told one of the representatives running for state senate that I was run over by a car.
Probably I did. I think I'm confusing it with another one. I don't know.
I have her Facebook and she asked me if I was okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. What's wrong? She's like, I heard you got run over.
Oh no, that was a different Aurora. I think they probably confused it with. There was another one.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh my God, if they did that, I'm so sorry. Don't take offense.
I'm not offended. I thought it was funny, but like.
Oh, okay.
All right. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. If there are no other group announcements, our Solidarity Lowell February meeting next month is going to be on Sunday, February 22nd, 5:30 to 7. We expect we'll be able to go back to a hybrid meeting with the in-person portion at the UCC Dracut. That's the Yellow Church at the top of Bridge Street, 10 Arlington Street in Dracut, as well as being on Zoom. So join us on our Facebook page where we post public events and photos and more, but no discussions or membership only events. Join our Facebook group to get the membership only events, participate in discussion, and access all of our events. Visit our website, solidaritylowell.com, and follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, and Threads. Watch the recordings of our meetings on YouTube. And most importantly, read the newsletter and keep your eye open for local activism opportunities. Thank you for coming, everybody, and have a good night.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Stay warm.
Bye, folks.
Broom did light shoveling. I didn't like